First off, you're my guest. Don't make me whip your fucking ass right now. Like, don't do this.
I'm hands off.
Don't make me fucking take you down like you did in the Olympic finals. Because all I want in this world is to be an Olympic champion. So, please, Gable, you're my guest. Do not disrespect me.
I'm not gonna disrespect you this time.
That's all I'm saying.
This
bro.
show,
Like,
this show, you got it. You got it this time.
That's what I'm talking about, guys.
We paying respect today.
First off, I'm here with Olympic champion Gable Steveson in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Listen, here's the beauty in being older. I can talk trash to him like this and never have to back it up. I've been talking trash to him all day, and this is literally as close as I've gotten to him the entire time because I don't want to run the risk of this dude taking me down. Gable, we're here in South Dakota for the Seeds of Change fundraiser, one of the sponsors for yourself and myself.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so much bigger than just us. Great opportunity to do something positive. But ultimately, when I saw you, I said, I got to grab a few minutes and get your thoughts. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing really good. You know, just grateful to be here. Grateful for the process. Grateful for Seed of Change for bringing us to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I think we're heading in the right direction for great things in this world, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
You know, with the first thing that jumped off at me, so when I saw you initially, you know, kid from Minnesota, always had a bit of a swagger to him. You know, you're a little different, but I see you blinging now. I mean, I see you blinging now. So that WWE NIL money is popping off. That NIL money from everywhere is popping off. Like, bro, how's life and how's the landscape of the world since all these changes became a part of NCAA wrestling?
I'll say right now, life is good. You know, I'm blessed to be in a situation that I am. You know, one day at a time with stuff like this. I mean, just being able to understand that my life has changed so quick after the Olympics is number one. You know, being able to see myself going in the right direction and see myself leading myself with good people around me is number one for me. So being able to understand what's right and wrong and keep pushing forward in the right direction is definitely the best thing.
You know, this guy's like an uber prospect in anything that he does, right? Wrestling professionally, wrestling in amateur wrestling, but also in the UFC because so many people wonder when we will see Gable Steveson. But I got one question for you before we get rolling. What does 250 feel like to a 22-year-old, right? Because that's what the winning Olympic gold medal pays you.
Yeah, it is.
$250,000, $250,000. Like, what is 250? When I was 22, y'all was broke. I was out here living off $1,000 a month. Like, what does that feel like to a 22-year-old kid?
It's weird because now, like, you get taxed different. You get taxed in your state different wise, and so I think getting that direct deposit is like, it's not
all at one time.
It's weird. Like,
bro, it's like fighting.
You're not used to that,
bro. In fighting, they used to give it to you in the back.
You're not used to it.
Literally, 7 figures, walk up to you with a check. There you go.
That's crazy. When I saw it, I was baffled. Like, cause I'm waiting for it, and he's like, "You're gonna get it in September," and I won the tournament in August.
Well, let me ask you a question. Before that, I know you were doing well, but like, here's the thing, right? What does 250 feel like to a 22-year-old? Because in August, you have money because you done won all those things leading up to the Olympic Games, but you ain't got money.
True.
But on September 5th, you get the call, hey, man, the direct deposit's coming in a couple days.
Right.
September 7th, you got 250. What does that feel like to a 22-year-old kid? And what does that kid do the moment he gets that money?
I think what it feels like to a regular 22-year-old kid is, you know, they're probably gonna blow a bag, get you some clothes and stuff, get you a lot of nice things. I already had a financial advisor set up, and so like I gave like all of it to him pretty much, and I kept some of it, and I got my mom a Louis bag. I went out to eat a steak.
Isn't that the best?
It was cool. Like, I mean,
buy your mama something like, yo.
Because normally you walk into the store, you got 4,000 Louis bag, 2,500. Now you down to 1,500. Like, you're like, what am I gonna do with this 1,500? Like, I can't spend 2,500 on a bag. So I had like the luxury of going in. We went into the store. She picked out her own bag. You know, it's cool. Like, you could gift somebody like that. Like, cause she gift me the world, and so I walk into the store and I could just hear. Like, it's not nothing. Like, here you go. So I thought it was really cool and it's tax free.
Yeah.
So it was 250 tax free. Like, so it felt really good. You know, I did a lot of good things. I do a lot of good things with myself, and I try to put my money in the best spots to keep me for that longevity. So,
becoming an Olympic gold medalist is something that honestly has propelled Henry Cejudo to great things. Youngest Olympic champion USA history.
Right.
Then Kyle Snyder passes him.
Right.
Then you pass Kyle Snyder. Right? You pass Kyle Snyder as the youngest.
I think I'm just a little bit older than him.
You're a little older
Just
than
a
Kyle
little
Snyder.
bit. I was 21 in like 2 months.
So you were 2 months older than Snyder.
Pretty close, yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's something that when you're walking to an octagon, we will constantly say, one of the youngest Olympic gold medalists in UFC history. How much do you believe that will play a part in what you become, whether it's fighting? Because at some point, fighting has to be in the future. I understand you have a WWE development contract, but if you have no
Development?
goals, it's not development anymore? I thought it was the NIL deal.
It was
before.
NIL, but I went straight into the booking.
So you're right in the booking now.
I'm in the booking, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But let me ask you this. Wow, so you big dogs. This fucking guy. Disrespectful. This guy's disrespectful.
My bad.
Wow.
I'm just
you
saying.
said coming on my show you would not disrespect me.
I didn't mean to. You gotta say
That's
it correct, bro. I
crazy.
said it correct, my fault.
I mean, but even with that, at some point you gotta fight. The world wants Gable Steveson to fight. How important will that Olympic medal be to you in your fight career?
Very important. You know, there's not a lot of heavyweights out there that are grappling, especially there's not a lot of heavyweights out there that got that endurance to go that 5-minute rounds. And if it doesn't go to that point, then it doesn't. But I feel like I have the tools to be UFC heavyweight champ. Getting my hands right, being persistent, doing all the correct things, eating right, good surroundings around me. I feel like I got the tools to do anything possible. So I believe in myself to be UFC champ one of these days, and it's bound to happen. And so, you know, it's a big goal. But if I don't think that
a guy's Olympic champion to say that your goal is not to be champion, it's a new thing if you ever pursue that.
at the end of the day, like, people are gonna wait for that time. People are gonna be, he went to the WWE.
Yeah.
We expect him to fight. And if at the end of the day he didn't fight, he's a coward. He's this. He's this.
Yeah.
And
I don't judge you now.
And I don't mind getting judged. I don't mind anything. But like I think of my own sake, I want to be labeled as the baddest. Like in WWE, could be labeled as baddest. Olympic, I've achieved that. And so in UFC, like, you want to be the baddest man. Like, imagine walking into the arena. You know how it feels. You know how it feels. Like you walk into the arena,
the greatest thing in the world,
and everybody knows you are the man.
Heavyweight champion is much different than light heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
The way that you're perceived with the world. But let me ask you this: when you look at the landscape, John Jones is going to heavyweight. Francis Ngannou's the champion. And that's like Cyril Gane in there, who's a savage.
Yeah.
Curtis Blades, who makes his money with wrestling, who may be the most credentialed guy left at heavyweight in terms of a wrestler.
Right.
When you look at that division, though, how does Gable Steveson match up with those dudes?
When I look at that division,
And talk your talk now.
when I look at that division, I feel like there's heavy hitters. You know, there's John Jones. Like you named all them. There's so many.
How do you stack up?
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there.
You are now on the journey, right? Because you're training, but
Right.
you're also training with the hands and everything.
Uh-huh.
How you stack up?
I feel like stack up perfect. In my mind, I've always been that overconfident kid, and people used to call cocky back in the day. But I feel that in my own head, I stack up perfectly. Like I know where I stand. Like I know my head is at, and I know when I put my head to it, I can beat anybody. Period. Like.
How long? How long before you think you can compete at that level?
I mean, whenever the time's right. And I don't know when the time's right. We
You know
will.
what's crazy? It's like I'm looking at you younger wrestlers who have the idea or the potential to someday be a fighter. Bo Nickel comes to mind, jumps off the page, says, if I'm not on the pay-per-view, I might as well retire. Before he got hurt, he was going to be on the pay-per-view portion of the card.
Yeah.
I believe that he was going to put that pressure on the organization. But it's a confidence. But that confidence comes from the work.
Yeah.
Right? So this isn't you being arrogant. This is you
No.
with a belief that you'll put in the work to get yourself up to that level.
I believe myself 100%. Like anything, before anybody even said, before even ESPN talks good about me or UFC may talk good, WWE may talk good, I believe myself wholeheartedly that I can achieve anything possible. Because I put the work in, I put the time in. You know, Bo Nickel, he's going to be future champ. Like it's just.
You believe he will?
I believe he will. Like it's.
They got some savages in there. Hamzat Chimaev.
Hamzat's tough. Like he's gonna have a brutal way to get there, but that's what we expect.
Yeah.
We're used to that. We're not used to no cakewalk. Like I want you to I want to feel the jitters before I go out that you're the baddest
You're
man
that dude.
and I'm the baddest man. We gonna fight it out and see who really the baddest man. That jitters of that is crazy. That's what I like.
It's the craziest feeling in the world.
Like you get the tingle. Like I feel your heart's racing before you go out.
You wonder how you got there most times. Like, how the fuck did I end up here?
Like I'm really about to walk out.
Against a dude that's been training for 12 weeks to take my head off. But I think what you're doing is very resembling of what we saw with Brock Lesnar, who became UFC champion. Because you're not starting in fighting, even though so many of us have called for that.
Yeah.
I've called for you to fight right away. You're going to start in the WWE, not development. You're at booking. So you're now going to be on the roster,
Right.
main roster, not even NXT. You will be able to bring in a whole entire new audience with you. But with that comes an accelerated pace. Because Brock Lesnar became the champ at 2-1.
Right.
But that was a whole different era of fighting.
Yeah, it was.
Today guys are more skilled. Today guys are better. How closely are you going to keep an eye on the mixed martial arts career as you're progressing through the WWE?
I think really closely, just because when negotiations come and when time comes at that spot, I think it's good for me to understand both sides and where I fit best. I fit best in WWE right now. Like you said, we're gonna do our thing. We're gonna stand by WWE and stand tall with them. But I think there's always gonna come a time where in the back of my head it's the what if I didn't do it?
Yeah.
And I think that I never want to have that what if, and I want to just go out there and just show people what I always known what I can do. So it's a good feeling to have like that, the both sides, and I feel
Have
like
options.
have options. It's at the end of the day, I believe myself, and I always will.
For the record, I told the UFC to sign you to a development deal right now. I told the higher ups, I was like, sign this kid right now, put him in development. Let's try to find a way for him to build until he gets to the show. But Gable, you are doing WWE. And we saw you at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Suplex and everything. But then you were gone because now you got to get to work to prepare yourself to be on television.
Right.
How's that going? How's that journey? How's the performance training center down there in Florida? How much time are you spending down there? And what else are you doing right now?
The performance center is a gift. There's so many high-end coaches that can lead me in the right direction, and I feel like I'm on the fast pace with having amateur wrestling background and putting into the pro wrestling. I feel like I'm on a good pace to get on TV really soon, and so everything's going good on that side. I mean, 100% committed with them. I love WWE. The push it's fun. Like, yeah.
I was there a couple weeks ago. It is amazing, bro.
The push that you get and like the jitters that you get when you go out, because now you're getting a whole demographic of different people. You're getting 80,000 people at WrestleMania.
They love you.
They love it. Like, if you're over, they love it too. And so I want to be that guy that puts on a good show for them and be able to understand how the business works, work with the right people, and keep building that foundation to greatness.
Let me ask you this. The gold standard for wrestlers going into mixed martial arts, Kurt Angle. It didn't take Kurt very long.
No.
Dude was the world heavyweight champion in a year and a half, 2 years.
Kurt in WWE was
It was perfect.
perfect. Like, Kurt matched up really well, especially with the broken neck gimmick and stuff like that. I think Kurt Angle has to be Kurt Angle. There can never be another Kurt Angle. And so what I wanted to be was I want to be Gable Steveson.
No, for sure, but that trajectory.
Oh, yeah, it's a skyrocket.
Do you believe that rocket ship on your back to the moon can be replicated, or do you believe that was a once-in-a-lifetime thing? Because we really have not seen as many do as well. Brock Lesnar was a can't miss, right? He was 6'5", 270 pounds. He couldn't miss.
Right.
He could have been a bodybuilder.
True.
He would not have missed. But to see Kurt Angle, guy, wasn't the giant and you're not the giant, right? You're 6'1".
Yeah.
You're 265, athletic, gifted, but you're not Brock. You're not 6'5". Can you replicate what Angle did? Or do you have to put that out of your mind and say, my journey is mine and I will go as I go?
I think I am ready for that rocket, and I've always been pressured at a young age to be great. Winning the Olympics at a young age too, like, you're set for that standard now. And I feel like a lot of people want to set me for that standard, be Kurt Angle. You have to let Kurt Angle rest. Like, that's Kurt Angle. Now you have to let Gable Steveson, a new generation, come and introduce you to a new foundation. That's what I want, and I think that's best for me.
That's for me. I'm like, because immediately I'm like, can he be like Kurt? Because I'm the guy that watched Kurt Angle.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately put himself in the main event picture. I'm like, can he be like Angle? And for you to say I want my own journey is amazing. But I watched your brother a couple weeks ago with another amateur wrestler, Jacob Casper.
Yes.
Wrestling the ambulance match. What about the work that your brother's doing in there? And how brutal. That was a nasty physical match.
Oh, yeah, they went after it.
It was awesome, right, to watch?
Yeah, it was awesome to watch. I watched it on TV. Bobby, well, his name's now Damon.
Damon Kim, Bobby.
It's kind of weird to see his name,
ass,
Damon. Yeah, so Damon, he's doing really well. Like, I hope he's on that push.
I cannot believe how well he's doing. You know, we used to argue all the time online, me and Bobby.
Right.
And you were like, dude, don't worry about it.
Let him be. Like, let's let him be. So Bobby's doing really well. Like, his trajectory is going up, and I hope it keeps going up. He's getting good looks, so I feel like he's on the good pace at the top too.
Here's what my booking idea was. Come in with you and Bobby. Turn on you and Bobby for the Caspers. That's what I think that's what I think our program should be. Me and you, DC the Olympian, managing the Olympian.
That's true.
All of a sudden, turn on the Olympian for Jacob Casper, who, unbeknownst to many, was in my training camps.
He was, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh my, it's such a good storyline. I can't believe I sold it for free. That's why I gotta be in the writing room. I should be in the writing room.
He said he want to be creative.
I want to be creative. I'm messing up. I'm fucking
You can be
up.
creative.
I'm bugging up. Gable, before I let you go, my friend, I was there in Michigan calling your NCAA championship, your second title, against Colton Schultz, which was amazing match, amazing performance over the course of the year. So many in wrestling want to know, is Gable Steveson going to take that last year? Will he become a 3-time NCAA champion? Because with the COVID year, you have another opportunity.
Yep.
But you took his shoes off in the mat. It looked like it was over. But now there are rumblings that maybe the University of Minnesota's like, hey, champ, give us one more.
Right now, being so committed to WWE, I am still getting my stripes with them and trying to move forward with them and get my TV time too. So I'm trying to get my training done so I can start that Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown process. But like you said, there is that one more year. There is that gray area of it. Am I ready for it? Yeah. Am I been practicing for it? Yes, I have. And if that time came, time comes.
Awesome that you've been working.
And
because you can't just jump back in there, regardless of how special you are.
Oh, you can't. No,
you got to
no.
prepare yourself.
Yeah. So I feel like I have some good months to prepare myself if that time comes. But I feel like at this stage, WWE is option number one. But if that time came, you can't pass up.
You know what the crazy thing is? It's always going to be another one. Because when 2024 rolls around, we'll be asking you, Gable, just one more. So it never will stop.
Nope, I know it won't. But hey, if they want one more, Gable gonna give them one more.
The wrestling community will always call for you to come back because of how you represented the sport, not only at the highest level, but in the NCAA.
For sure,
and the way that you are received in those matches is crazy. It's like I watch you walk into buildings and people just rush you, the kids, the fans, like that has to feel good.
It feels good, like I talked about with you earlier, like just being in the arena. Like you grew up and you see guys like Kyle Schneider and stuff, that are man in the arena, and you always wonder how you get there. And then when you get there, it's like, how do I take this and make it greater? And how do I take this and make someone's kid like yours find that and want to be that guy when I'm done? And so I think it's a whole chain reaction of stuff. Like people think it's just a one-day process. It's not.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important for kids like my son, who looks like you.
For sure,
right?
yeah.
The same shade, the same look that goes, I can see a hero that when I look across the screen, kind of looks like me. Even though I idolize David Taylor and I idolize certain other guys, Jordan Burroughs, Gable Steveson is as close to me as I see, with the curly hair and the lighter complexion skin. I think that matters to kids like that, and you have been a pillar for those kids.
No, thank you.
And my kid really does love you, and I think that's amazing, the impact you've made.
No, that's good. Well, I'm glad he loves me, and I hope many other kids out there see the journey that it can take you. Wrestling can take you to so many heights, and people don't understand that you can meet so many people. Like we're here at an event in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, meeting people that we never would have seen. We never would have came across from with just wrestling. And so as long as you stay winning, like we talked about, you stay winning, you stay consistent, you're going to meet people that you want to meet. So that's what Gable wants to do.
You know, I spoke to Gable Steveson last year before he started his career, and he goes, hey, I want to be like you. And then 7 months later, he won the Olympics, and he goes, remember I said I wanted to be like you? I went out there and I became you. That's exactly the truth.
Crazy.
Gable Steveson is on a journey to do everything that you have seen done by your favorite fighters, favorite wrestlers, and exceed them. It'll be interesting to watch Gable Steveson on his journey. Guys, make sure you tap in. Go to Twitter. Go to Instagram. Follow Gable Steveson. Tap in on this guy's content. Find him on NBA 2K. He gonna run from you.
No.
He gonna run from
Never.
you on 2K.
Never.
He gonna run from you.
We don't even have to go that far.
Also know that his guys boosted Ronnie 2K, gave him the star.
Appreciate
boosted
Ronnie.
His guy.
Thank you, Ronnie.
You know, Ronnie hooks dudes up. But guys, tap into Gable Steveson. Uber prospect. Years from now, you will look back on this interview, see his confidence, and recognize that it was never arrogant. It was only truly who he was. Like, subscribe, tap in. Till next time, my guy.
We out.
Thank you for checking in. Later, guys. Peace.
Peace.